My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?
Hey, it's Jackie Cation. Welcome to Dork Addendum 4. That's right. This is where I read some of your letters. And I'm going back in time because Thomas Kirshner recommended this. So now I am in July of 2012. I'm sure I've skipped a bunch of them, but here's one. Gail Posey. I listened to the podcast and enjoy it very much, she said in July of 2012. You have the secret. When people are excited about a topic, they are infectious. It's great. That is true. I've been wanting to compliment your audio guy because yours is the only podcast I have heard where the music and the podcast are at the same volume. This does not go unappreciated. Mostly I'm glad you enjoy making a podcast so I can listen to it. Thanks, Gail from North Carolina. Well, thank you, Gail from North Carolina. Patrick Brady, that guy's great, quite honestly. And I'm learning a little bit because this is Dork Addendum 4. Patrick Brady is not involved in the audio in this particular one because I do the addendums. They're only 15 minutes. And essentially I read letters from you guys. And then I talk to you about what dorkdom I'm doing this week. And we leave it at that. So Patrick is busy working, and then he does the regular ones, but he's taught me a lot. So I think they sound okay. Hopefully, because I do the Mexican hat dance, and then I do this. So hopefully they are also at the same level. How about this one? Also from July 20th, 2012. July 20th, my birthday. There's a fun fact here at the Dork Addendum. Ernest Messick. Ernest says to me, Jackie, great podcast. I really love it. Thank you so much for doing it. I just ordered your CDs from your website. Was wondering if you could sign them too. I didn't see the option for it if I bought both at once. No worries if you can't. Thanks very much, Ernest. P.S. My favorite episode was bees. Well, Ernest, hopefully that is now an option on the store on JackieCation.com. I think it is. I'm sure from 2012 I've sent you my CDs. I have a new one out, of course, if you're still listening. And your favorite episode was the bees episode. That was great. That was a really great episode. And people should do that. Google the words. I don't know what number it is. Google the words Dork Forest and the word bee, and it'll show up. Robert Freeborn writes in July 20th as well. Here's a little something I put together. Hope you enjoy it and have a great birthday. And it is, seems to be a PDF, Jackie Cation TDF bingo. So if I knew how to play bingo, and I think it's you spell bingo and Bossy Magoo, safe space. Okay. So they're different slogans from the show, Robert Freeborn, and he has made a bingo card. That's fun. Bossy or Grumpy Magoo, safe space. You're doing good or vital work. Winter is coming. Knock yourself out. I'll look it up. Here's the thing. It's been an hour. That's what I want to hear. At minute, insert number 50. Hey, my cell phone's going off. I doubt you can hear it. Friend of the show. I'm a jackass. Maria Bamford. I do mention Maria Bamford a fair amount. Free space. Dana Gould. I do mention Dana Gould a fair amount. Chicken. I mentioned that as well. Talk amongst yourselves. Shrimp ring. It'll be in the notes. Cashews. Let me tell you something. South Milwaukee. My entire family. Okay. On that note, Dick Cavett. I mentioned him a fair amount as well. And then what happened? That's hilarious, Robert Freeborn. Thank you for that from July of 2012. How about this? Martha Washington. Okay, who has a kid who's named Washington and then names their kid Martha? Because that's fantastic. Okay, Martha, what'd you write? Dear Jackie, I'm listening to TDF 128 and had to pause it due to laughter after you mentioned the purple guy with the chin business, and I thought I'd send you a note from deep within the Marvel Grove of the Dork Forest. There must have been another in that packed cinema, but I knew who led the Chitauri as soon as I heard the phrase, courting death itself. Oh, Martha Washington, Marvel dork for sure. Thanos fell in love with Marvel's death and wants to free up her schedule by killing everyone in the universe. That is the best description of Thanos I think I've heard. Well done. That Joss reads the source material all right. Oh, yes, and I think writes some of it. Love the show, Martha. Oh, and the spelling of Fairly Odd Parents is missing one of the D's on TDF.com. All right. Thank you, Martha Washington. Okay. Oh, Gail. Gail writes back. Hey, I forgot to tell you about the magnet. Thanks for the magnet. You are welcome. Okay. And then what happened? I got something from Caroline. Caroline says, your comedy reminds me of the wildly intelligent, funny women I knew in college. Come to New York. I would love to see you perform live in the Northeast. This is from July 26th of 2012. Caroline, I'm coming back to New York in January of 2015. So I've been back since July of 2012. But just so you know, Caroline, thank you very much. And, people used to come up to me all the time and say, you remind me of my roommate from college. Now people say, last couple of years, it's been more, you remind me of my aunt. I'll take either. As long as that person is a nice person and funny, I'm all right with it. Okay. July 26th as well from Quiet Mike. Quiet Mike. How's it going, Mike? Jackie, really good stuff. I think Michelle is right that someday they're going to isolate serial killers with brain injuries, because who in their right mind could do that kind of stuff? Keep fighting the good fight. Quiet Mike. That's got to be a Michelle McNamara. That's so great. That is awesome. Okay. What else we got? Guy named John. Hello, John. He writes, hi, Jackie. Just listened to you on the Road Stories podcast. That's a Murray Valeriano. Murray and I have known each other low on 15 years. I get his name mispronounced regularly. But Murray Valeriano, the Road Stories podcast, I was on that. He says, just listen to you on that podcast, episode about club condos, etc. I was aghast that you haven't had good food in Austin, Texas. Who has been steering you to chain restaurants there? Wait, now I'm recalling where Cap City Comedy is situated, which explains a lot. Yes, it would, because it's right by a Red Lobster, and that is pretty much it. I'm not back in Austin much, but please tell me when you're back there, and I'll have my very nice sister drive you to any number of reasonably priced places with delicious and nutritious food. Also, I just wore my Dork Forest t-shirt last week when I purchased from you after a show in Austin. Sincerely, John. Well, August 2nd, 2012. I have had since 2012, I've had excellent food in Austin, Texas, just so you know. Let's see. Should I do another one? Justin Barcelos. Hi, Jackie. So I know you like Torchwood. I'm not sure if you're watching Doctor Who yet, but did you know there's a third series to this ensemble? I've been trying to pick up a copy of Doctor Who Season 1 on DVD, even though I saw it on Netflix already. I would like to own it. But there's this silly thing with UK DVDs being super expensive, so they make the US version of popular UK shows super expensive, so people in the UK don't buy them all from the US. So I've been sitting on eBay trying to get one at a decent price. This email is fantastic, Justin Barcelos. And I continue. While I was waiting, I looked up a Doctor Who Torchwood episode watching guide for fun, and to my surprise, they included a show called The Sarah Jane Adventures. I looked it up, and one of the characters that was in Season 1 has her own show, and from what it looks like on the cover of the DVD, she's accompanied by 3 kids. I don't know if your love for kids and stories stops outside of books. I know it's just kids and stories, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like kids standing up to adults or kids with superpowers or something. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but it's definitely streaming on Amazon Prime, and you can get that on your PS3. Anyway, this email's getting too long to check it out. Hi, Jackie. The Sarah Jane... Okay. Oh, this is hilarious, Justin Barcelos. Long email version was the thing I just read. And then he wrote, short email version. Hey, Jackie. The Sarah Jane Adventures. Sincerely, Justin Barcelos, Fresno, California. Thank you, Justin. That is hilarious. Okay, so I'm at 8 minutes, so let's do the other thing I do on the Dork Forest Addendum, which is tell you what I've been dorking out. So we've gone through, we're at the beginning of August of 2012 with the emails. Here's what I'm reading. I picked 10 of what I'm currently loving. Still loving Mike Carey's Gross and Chuck Ree's Unwritten, The Apocalypse. It's gotten really good again. There was a small lull, because I've loved it. Because right now we're 75 issues in. Always enjoy the Dark Horse comics, different, like this world with Baltimore and Witchfinder and BPRD and all of that. So what I grabbed Witchfinder, Baltimore, and I think there's a BPRD in here. Yeah. So BPRD is by Mike Mignola, Art by John Arcudi, Tyler Crook, Dave Stewart, right? That's BPRD, Hell on Earth. I'm reading that. The Baltimore, this is all Dark Horse Comics, is by Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, Peter Bergting, and David Stewart. The Witch of Harju, which just ended and is freaking awesome. Was it The Witch of Harju that just ended? Yeah, it was a 3 of 3. And then Sir Edward Grey, Witchfinder, Dark Horse Comics by Kim Newman, Maura McHugh, Tyler Crook, and Dave Stewart. And it is pretty freaking awesome as well. So those are all the Dark Horse, and the Vertigo is the unwritten. This is Boom. Boom, Rachel Rising. I've mentioned it on the show. Still loving it. The first arc is amazing. We're in a second story now. Terry Moore, Rachel Rising. Kind of creepy. Not for before bed, just so you know. Another thing not for before bed, this Hinterkind, Vertigo, title by Eddington, Trafalgar, and Peter. And Hinterkind is essentially about a world where the humans, like centaurs and goblins and everybody else, humans destroy the earth to some extent. It's post-apocalyptic, of course, and the rise of all of the marginalized fairy creatures. And it's about them, and it's dark, and it's funny, and it's dark. It's pretty dark. Anyway, Saga, of course, I've mentioned a million times. Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, awesome. Chapter 24, it's great. Here's what I may or may not have mentioned. Boombox's issue 7 of Lumberjanes, Stevenson, Ellis, Waters, and Allen. Lumberjanes from Boombox, sweet, and has taken a turn for the dark and is awesome. It's so good. The only Marvel thing that I'm recommending right now is Spider-Man 2099 by Peter David. Sliney and Fabella doing art and letters. And of course, always good. There's a new arc of Astro City. And Astro City is Busiek. Where's the rest of the people involved with this? I got to turn a page here. Come on, Busiek. You're not alone. Are you doing all of it? You might be doing all of it. I don't know. Maybe you're doing all of it. Busiek, Busiak, Astro City. They're mostly one-offs. They're not arc, so you can buy one and it's a whole story. They're just really good, is what I'm saying. Anyway, here we are in November, and that was Addendum 4. Thanks for tuning in, folks.